Hi guys, what's going on? Today I have like a really kind of like an interesting review for you, and that's the Saramonic UW Mic 9 wireless microphone system. And maybe you remember, maybe what you can do is just like grab a cup of coffee or tea, and then I'll walk you through the system. And previously, maybe you remember that, maybe you have seen it or not, I reviewed this like, I always like to say this, like the smaller brother, the Boya is the smaller brother of the Saramonic. I reviewed this, but what I found with this, basically, it's just one transmitter and one receiver, so that really limited me because I started shooting an interview recently and I couldn't do it with like one of these single systems. So while there is like also a dual channel version of this, I just thought I have tested this already, so why don't I step it up a notch, spend a little bit more and get the Saramonic instead, because supposedly that has like some more sturdier housing, and I also like that it's a little bit modeled on the Sony. And yeah, maybe I can zoom in for you a little bit here. You can basically see that by the color scheme, it has like this yellow here, and that really is kind of like sort of reminds me of the Sony. And just as a small side note, if you're really in the market for a dual channel microphone, wireless lav system, I looked at the pricing of the Sony. Or I mean, I'm over here in Europe, but like the Sony was like really expensive if you want to have, because like usually the Sennheisers and Sonys, they come only with one transmitter and a one channel receiver. That means, for example, if you have a Sennheiser, you need one transmitter and one receiver, and you have to buy it twice. So you're way over $1,000. And if you want a dual channel receiver, so that you have only one receiver on your camera instead of two, and then like some adapter to route it into your camera or an audio recorder, the Sony system I saw, like it's like $2,000 or something. So that's really starts to get really pricey, and I don't think that a normal beginning YouTuber is willing to spend that much. So my prediction basically is that companies like Boya and Saramonic really going to conquer the market, and all the YouTubers are going to run around with Boya, Saramonic, while the companies like Sennheiser and Sony are missing out. So if you're a manager and you're working in a Sony strategy department, I would take action immediately, because yeah, I mean, you don't want to lose out on those YouTuber businesses, because like a YouTuber, there are so many YouTubers out there, you're really missing out. So let's quickly walk through here. Basically, like I said, and that's also really nice, even if you only buy the small package. I mean, they have, I think they have like two main packages. Like the one package is that I have here. It like includes two transmitters, but there is a small package too. So if you're just doing these product reviews and you're just starting out, you could just buy the smaller package and then add the other receiver, the other transmitter after the fact, and it would work really nice, because if you buy the small package, you still have the dual channel receiver and one transmitter. And that's kind of like really nice. If you buy a system for Sennheiser, you don't have that. You have to buy two of these packs, and then it's more expensive. So I hope you can follow me right here. Please bear with me. I'm just quickly going to do an unboxing of this. And yes, I know it was a little bit confusing, but trust me, if you're in the market for a system like that, you will come to the same conclusion than what I just told you. That those are really nice entry-level microphones. So let's open this up right here. I'm like really super curious to see what this looks inside. And yeah, maybe you can see it already in the description here below. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do this unboxing, show you what's inside, and then I'm going to do also like a sound test with this. And so far I have to see, it looks really nice. Look at this packaging. I mean, it looks really nice quality. And also I think it's a little bit unique style to have like this, how do you say it in English? Carton material or something. And yeah, I mean, maybe you have seen a few reviews of those already. I mean, I know there are reviews out there. I'm not the first one to review it, but I enjoy making these reviews. So why don't I just give you a close-up shot of this receiver unit? And Yeah, guys, this looks really nice and sturdy. That's much better quality than the Boya. And also one thing I noticed, this is like a plasticky material, and if you were to buy the dual channel version of the Boya, I think it's going to be much bigger. So that's also a size thing. If size is important for you, then you should really consider spending a little bit more on getting a Saramonic. So what you're seeing right now is a dual channel receiver Saramonic, and that's a single channel receiver from the Boya. And the dual channel receiver from the Boya, to my understanding, is a little bit bigger even than the single one. So this the Saramonic, while because it's made of metal, it's a little bit heavier, but I actually don't mind it. I like the small compact size. I prefer that. Oh, but one thing I noticed already, like one thing you're not gonna get with the Saramonic is like such a nice carrying case. That would be maybe, the Boya has like this really nice carrying case, which is kind of really useful if you think about it. That would be maybe a suggestion for the Saramonic team. Saramonic team, if you're watching, this is really useful. Why don't you have something like this with your set as well? It can't be that expensive. Or offer it as an aftermarket item. Otherwise, you can always buy, I saw that also, maybe I can show this to you here. They're like these, usually you have like these, I think they are called Pelican case, like these cases where there's the foam inside, and there are also cheaper knockoff versions. I think you could even build something like that yourself and put it in. Maybe I'm even going to do that in some of my future videos. But for now, let's continue on with the review. This is the battery tray. You can put this in here. I mean, it's made out of plastic, but I also saw someone commenting on it, and that's actually good. So because this is a metal frame, so you can have no shorts in here. I really like the build quality. This is so much better than the Boya. I really feel like if that drops, that is going to be so solid. So I'm really excited to look at this in just a minute. And guys, I don't want to stretch this out too far. I mean, it's basically, the transmitters are kind of similar. I'm just gonna get this out here real quick. They are also more heavy. You have to keep that in mind. They are more heavy. If you want something lightweight, go for the Boya. Otherwise, take the Saramonic. Maybe what I can do is I can attach those here real quick, just to have a quick look. And yeah, but that's kind of like similar. Saramonic has made that similar to the Boya. I mean, I think it's like universal, very similar system. It looks very sturdy. I mean, you will have no problem clipping that on your belt or something like that. There is one thing that might be a slight disadvantage. I saw someone criticize that when you want to put the receiver on top of a camera, the Saramonic receiver, then you also have to attach this clip to the receiver and then slide this hot shoe mount under here. I mean, I just made like a little bit of mistake, slided it from the wrong side. And some people mentioned, oh, this is not really very sturdy. It flips around, but I think it's very sturdy. I think that should work just fine. There's a little bit different system with the Boya. I can show that to you real quick. I mean, as you obviously can see with the Boya, you can screw it right in, so you don't clip it, it's screwed in. So that's kind of very sturdy and solid. But actually, I think that should work as well. I mean, I don't see how this is a disadvantage. Maybe the other guy that complained about it, maybe he had something that was loose. Maybe I can watch over time how this performs if I use it a lot. Maybe that will how do you say that, degrade in strength over time and then maybe become loose. But I don't really think so. My suspicion is that is a non-issue, because I saw someone complaining about it. I would just assume that it's a non-issue, and if there is an issue, I just leave a post below the video and you can see that there. Maybe I put a post and pin it, but so far that looks really, really good. And also one thing I want to point out about these microphone connectors from the Saramonic system, they seem to be really nice quality. Let me just plug in one of those right here, and that screws on very, very nicely. It's really solid. And then let's compare this to the Boya. Okay, quick correction. I had to push it a little bit and wiggle a little bit around. Now it's like really tight. I cannot pull it out. So it was not 100% perfect, but it will screw on and it sits very, very tight. I cannot pull it out. With the Boya, I had a little bit of problem there. And that is, if I wanted to connect this to the Boya, I can plug it in But whatever I do, I could not screw this on. Like it would just turn. So whatever I do, it would never screw on. And so that means if you put that on someone and there's like tension on the wire, it potentially could come out. I didn't like that, and I don't know what it was. Maybe it's like a supplier of these microphones, because since this is like a Sennheiser connector, I tested it with a JK Mic J, and the JK Mic J would, I could screw it on here perfectly and it would really tighten down. So when I compared these two plugs, what I found is that this plug just from the Boya was just like a tiny little bit too short, and therefore it wouldn't screw on here. So that maybe is just like a little bit of a manufacturing tolerance. And yeah, maybe that was just with my particular Boya mic that I had. It wasn't really like a big issue. It's kind of like was a non-issue for me, because I can always use this other mic that I showed you. But it's always nice to see that the Saramonic system doesn't have this at all, and it works just right out of the box. Although I'm gonna try to use this JK Mic J on the Saramonic as well and see how it works and performs, because this JK Mic J really has a very, very nice sound. So that would be interesting to see how this performs with the Saramonic system, because I'm always looking to make this sound a little bit more professional. And yeah guys, so far I really like the quality that's in the packaging. That's also really nice, the connector to the camera, from the transmitter to the camera. Also again, it also has this so that you can screw it in, that it stays in place. And the same seems to be true for the XLR connector. And obviously the XLR you would use if you have like one of these test cam audio recorders. You could take this and put it from the dual channel receiver straight into your professional audio recorder. I don't like to do it that way. I would like to record with my camera, because I don't want to carry all that gear around. But hey, it's like you have the flexibility, and that's what I like about this system. So guys, I have some batteries here. So why don't we put in some batteries and do a quick config? Because I think it would be really cool to see the menu system. And because the menu system is like a little bit more, how should I say, more advanced than the Boya. The Boya has like a really, really simple menu system. You just have like change the channel and change the sensitivity of the transmitter and receiver, and that's about it. There's really not much going on with the Boya. Whereas the Saramonic wireless system has like a little bit more of options going on. It's like a really nice kind of menu where you can change a few things, and I really would love to explore this right now. So let's have a look. So essentially the first thing what I'm going to do, and you see again, it's like it's really modeled after the Sony, like with this, with the coloring and with this tray. It looks remarkably similar. I'm just going to put in some batteries here, and for testing purpose I'm just going to use these end loops, the Panasonic end loop. Just put them in here. Always pay attention to the polarity. Obviously you don't want to put them in the wrong way. And then let's just slide this in here and start on power on the receiver. And there you go. So guys, I'm going to give you a quick rundown on how to control this menu. Basically with the plus and minus, you navigate up and down. That's pretty straightforward. Kind of really nice and easy. The Boya really doesn't have like all this functionality, so consider that as well. And then here you see the channel A is receiving, or can receive. I don't have to turn the transmitter on, and you would see that here too. And quick thing to notice is if you use this right out of the box, you're only going to receive on channel A, and then channel B is turned off for energy conservation. So if you wanted to do an interview, a two-person interview, make sure to switch on channel B as well on your receiver. And then let's scroll down a little bit here, so you can, for example, change the output mode. Right now it's on mono. So basically, let's say you're shooting an interview and you want everything mixed together, then it's my understanding in mono it gets mixed together. Or you can record in stereo, which might be kind of useful. Then you have like 2 tracks, and then you can have like one channel here and one channel B. And maybe if the volume, for some reason, if the one person in the interview talks a little bit louder and the other one not, and you can do a little bit correction in post very conveniently by having it recorded in 2 different channels rather than mono. But like those are kind of like all like details. I think you're gonna figure this out real quick. Volume, sensitivity, and so on and so forth. What I haven't tested is that you supposedly can kind of sync these up together, so that you put in the frequency here and then via infrared it syncs it. That looks like a really nice handy feature. I don't think the Boya have that. I'm not completely sure, but yeah, I mean, I don't want to belabor this too long. The main point is like it's really solid. It has all these functions that the Boya doesn't have. Metal casing, like really nice big backlit display, and yeah, these connectors seem to be nicer. So I think the most of you guys are probably interested in is just to check the sound quality. So why don't I connect this real quick and make like a little bit of a sound test, maybe one sound test indoors, and then maybe I'm also going to take it outdoors and check it out. But in any case, you're also going to hear these kind of sets in my interviews. So with that, why don't we just jump to the sound test? Because we have already seen the unboxing and the menu. So let's jump to the sound test right quick. So guys, this is a short test of the Saramonic UW9 wireless lav mic system, and I think it's working pretty good. I mean, I haven't listened to it yet, but I'm going to listen to it in a second. And what we can do right now, we could also compare it once against the Boya. So let's compare it quickly against the Boya. So guys, and now I'm comparing the Saramonic against the Boya, the BYW M6, or of course there's also the Boya BYW M8. And the 6 is the single channel version that I used to own previously. And yeah, one thing I noticed is for the Saramonic, I used the basic settings, and for the Boya, I had to turn the volume up on the sensitivity on the transmitter as well as on the receiver, so to have this about the same level in my DSLR. So right off the bat, this is not, it doesn't give you that high of a sensitivity, and it doesn't give you that high of a output to your DSLR, and the Saramonic seems to outperform there. So let's just quickly jump back to the Saramonic and hear the Saramonic once more. And guys, the best way to show this to you here is as you can see, the level is very, very high with the Saramonic right off the bat. I mean, I didn't raise, and I'm not talking in a loud voice, so maybe I can quickly show this to you if I go into the menu of my Canon. That's kind of what you kind of want to see when you set the volume levels manually. That maybe I can move this here real quickly. See that, how this moves? You want this all the way down, and like, do you see here? It's like at 1 and 2 and 3. So the preamp in the camera almost doesn't work at all. And I found with the Saramonic, it has such a strong output level from here to the camera that's really, really perfect. So guys, now we're back to the Saramonic. You got a little bit like behind the scenes shot right there from my iPhone, showing you that the Saramonic is really, really super sensitive and outputs a super nice, strong signal to your Canon DSLR. So I think what we're going to do right now is just jump to the conclusion, and I summarize everything for you one last time. Now, obviously, you have seen that the Boya is also like maybe like a little bit like the smaller brother of the Saramonic. I've told you that these affordable entry-level wireless mic systems have a surprisingly good quality, see like the Saramonic, and that they're like really competitively priced compared to Sony or Sennheiser system. And like one thing you might want to consider is like the Sony and Sennheiser system, while they are incredibly expensive, they are like these true diversity systems as far as I understand. That's the only thing that you're not going to get in these Boya and Saramonic systems, that they like are true diversity receivers. But yeah, I mean, just comparing the Boya and the Saramonic, that gives you, the Saramonic gives you like this really small form factor, really compact housing, really good quality, and it's really like this, I think, like perfect companion for your DSLR, because like I showed you in this short iPhone behind the scenes video, it's because it's outputs such a strong signal. The preamp in your DSLR has to do almost no work at all, and that really improves the sound of your recordings. The Boya, yeah, the Boya works obviously as well, and I had to catch this here real quick. It works well as well, but you have to increase the sensitivity on the transmitter as well as the output on the receiver a little bit. I found to change it from 24 to 26 works very well in case of my Canon. But in any case, like if you play around with it a little bit, both systems are going to work, and I prefer the Saramonic. So that's kind of it for my initial review, and if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. And maybe you also want to check out this JK Mic J review, because the JK Mic J could, for example, be a simple solution. Let's say you have a Boya already, you can easily use this JK Mic J and put it onto your Boya to enhance the sound, because the JK Mic J has like a better performance than the stock mic that's delivered off the Boya. And maybe I think I'm going to test this in future videos with the Saramonic as well to see how it performs. So with that, I conclude this review, and I see you as a subscriber on my channel and in one of my next videos. Take care.
And yeah, obviously more and more people have already subscribed to my YouTube channel, because there are also lots of other useful audio and video equipment reviews. And I encourage you to check those out as well if you're interested. And yeah, finally, since you stuck around really until the end of this video, I'm having a special gift for you right now. And that is a free 7-day online course that you can check out that I created, where I compiled some really awesome case studies on how people have created massive success and wealth online, like earning like considerable amounts of money. And I break down the different methods in that free course.